Hi, my name is Nancy and I'm from Southeast Queensland and I would like to show you around my beautiful backyard. I have an 8 by 8 meter fenced and enclosed garden space where I grow my vegetables, and then I also have lots of other room where I put fruit trees and other flowers and perennials. So come along with me and I'd love to show you what I grow. So this is my 8 by 8 meter garden bed. It is fully fenced and we recently put a net on the top. We have a real problem with birds and possums. These two trees up here, one's a locust and one's a macadamia, and they really attract rats. So we were finding that everything we were growing was being spoiled by all the pests, all the natives, I guess. I do apologize if there's lots of thunder. There's lots of storm clouds coming. I'm going to beat the weather though. You can hear it now. So come on in and I'll show you what I can grow in my garden. This here is a cherry guava, which we recently put back in a pot. But let's come in. So I've got 6 2.1 by 1.1 meter garden beds, and then some others down the back, which I'll show you eventually. But in here I've got some broccolini, which I picked the main heads of a while ago, and then we're just getting lots of little shoots coming through. There's 2 cabbages growing in here. So I had lots in here and I've pulled some out and given it to the chickens. And then I've planted 3 more new little baby broccoli, which may or may not produce before the end of the year. I then have here in this pot a beautiful grapefruit. I can't eat grapefruit because I'm on a statin. And my husband doesn't like it, so we're looking at getting rid of it and maybe putting something else in the pot soon. I've got a little fish pond. This here took over. I recently put some watercress in it too, and I bought this fountain that hasn't worked in a while from Amazon. I wish I hadn't left it such a good review. I've also got here a dragon fruit, which hasn't fruited yet. It needs a pole in it to grow up, but you know, that takes time, and sometimes I just don't have time. All along here I have got strawberries. I've given them a recent trim back, so that's why they don't look very big, but all these alpine strawberries here are doing really well at the moment. The ones down the end not so much because the sun isn't so good at the moment. In here I have a beautiful pixie peach or nectarine. I can't remember which one it is. We'll just have to wait until it actually fruits and then we'll work it out. With some really beautiful, well, you can't see them because they've finished, but they're like zebra violas and they are beautiful. I love them. And then in our second bed we have got cauliflower. Now these were a sprouting cauliflower, so that's why they look funky. I have already picked 3 and I've got another 4 big ones, and these 3 here are very much ready to go. I just can't eat so much cauliflower. I've also got 6 beautiful celery plants, which we've just been picking bits off and eating and then coming again. These here had, as you can see on both ends, I put a net over the top of it before we put this beautiful net on the top to contain the pests. I've also got this other cauliflower here, which is very much also ready. Might be gifting some cauliflowers sometime really soon. And then we'll continue walking down. I've got down here on the other side of the pixie peach is a marbled capsicum, and this is a jalapeno from last year. And then this is I can't remember what that was, some form of chili, which I've overwintered, and if they don't survive, they don't survive. But I just pulled them out of the garden bed so that they could keep growing. And then down here you can see that these strawberries aren't doing very well. Hopefully they'll come back, but if not, I'll just plant some more, I guess. And then in the third bed along here, I've got some onions down the end here. They are doing really well. You can't see the heads yet, but they are. And then I've got more broccoli throughout. There's a lovely house up the road from me that grows seeds as a sample for, they're from a seed company, and they grow seeds as a sample. And I got these as seedlings, and they're doing really well. There's like 4 or 5 broccolis in here that are ready to pick, but we're just struggling to eat so much at once. I've also got some leeks in here which are probably ready, but I just love the fact that they're so big and they're in the garden and they're growing. And then I've got another cauliflower here which is doing really well. It's probably not too far off. We also have 9 chickens, which we can come back to later and talk about. In this bed across, so they go 3 and then 3, I have got a volunteer potato plant. I don't ever remember planting potatoes in this bed, so I'm not really sure where it's come from. This here is a citronella balm, which I just keep cutting back. It smells beautiful. I would like to relocate it, but I'm just not really sure where I would put it. And then I've got some lettuce, which we've been cut and coming again. There's lots of lettuce under the potato here too. And some carrots. Oh, that's a big weed I need to pull out. I've got some carrots which I have planted and thinned, and they're doing really well. Along this trestle is a sweet pea, and you can see just here she's just about ready to flower. I'm so excited. That means spring is not far away. I grew sweet peas on this trellis last year, and then I saved lots and lots of seeds from both here and then from at the park. I picked some old dried pods and I planted the seeds in a seed roll, and I think every single seed I planted sprouted. So I've put lots in, and I've put some at my brother's house, and I've gifted some away to friends as well. And I hope they're as beautiful as they were last year, because they were really beautiful last year. And then in this patch, I had recently planted a row of radishes, a row of broccoli, and a row of turnips. That was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I think only the turnips here have sprouted, which is such a shame because I don't really like turnips, but I just wanted something in the garden. Oh no, you can see a few little beetroot. Unfortunately, I think that this bed has been attacked by slugs, and that's what's happened here. Oh, I'm sorry, it's my sausage dog stuck behind the chicken coop. Yeah, and then there's some little cos lettuces I planted last week. Oh, and clover. I need to get in there and pick that out. And this is my sausage dog, Frankie. Come to say hello. Hello, Frankie. My little sausage. I have 2. The other one is stuck behind the chicken coop back there. I don't know if you can see her from here. This is a bed that I recently put in. I've only just recently put soil in it. So I am waiting for it to sink a bit, and then I'm going to add some more stuff, and then I will summer plant it. I got maybe a fortnight ago these 2 capsicums. I've up potted them, and they've been living in my greenhouse, and I will have to remember to put them in there before it rains. Back here you can see through the fence is a little native beehive, and they're just overwintering. Hopefully they're doing okay in there. I'll attempt to split the hive again, and I guess I could film a little video of how I did that, because I did it last year with at my mum and dad's house. There's another one. We do have to fix this fence. It's not quite finished, and the gate needs to be a bit more rat proof. Last week a bird got in through here and was stuck in eating my blueberries, which was very unfortunate, but I guess that's just life. Strawberry, are you stuck back there? Come on, out you come, you silly sausage. I've then got, there's 5 blueberry plants up here. This one here has been producing blueberries already, and the rest are really covered in flowers, which is great because we haven't had a great blueberry harvest yet, and I do wonder if that's because the birds have eaten them. And then I'll show you the other 2 beds, or other beds, and then I'll come and show you my chickens. In this bed here, I've got some snapdragons which are doing really well, and then these are some blue hyacinth plants. They're not doing great, but I mean they're still alive. And then I planted a couple of weeks ago some cabbages to make sauerkraut with, and some silver beet. Now I'm not a big fan of silver beet, but I have 9 chickens who are fans of silver beet, so I am essentially growing it for them. And then I've got some kale, which is doing really well. We're eating lots of that. Some more snapdragon, some volunteer carrots. I had a carrot patch last year that just self-seeded, and oh my gosh, Frankie, I keep falling over you, buddy. It's self-seeded and they seem to be everywhere. They're popping up in the path and everything. I've got another cauliflower in here that's probably just about ready to pick. Oh, some little coriander. We're at the point in the season where everything is almost volunteer. So it's sort of chaos gardening. I embrace chaos gardening. I've got an echinacea, which I planted the end of last year and has only just flowered. I'm really surprised it survived the winter because we've had a cold winter. I've got some spinach, which is definitely being munched on by something. I'd say slugs. And then in here I've got some variegated thyme, which is doing really well. And then I have a whole bed of garlic. This I will just leave until the end of summer, or it's about Christmas time. I think the garlic's usually ready to come out. Hopefully it does really well this year. I have 4 more beautiful blueberry plants. My garden is a mess. There's stuff everywhere. And then down here, this is a new addition, this bed. I planted it and the one down the other end that I just showed you that has nothing in it at the same time. But I popped just some flowers on the top and then some coriander. And then underneath all of that, there is 5 beautiful asparagus ferns that, I put the roots. I don't know what you call that. I've had a mind fart. Anyway, they are underneath and they will come when they are ready. And then I've got some freesias I planted that are coming up. They're a beautiful peach color. In fact, there's some down here on the other side of that. I'll show you them in a minute. And then down in this bed here, I've got oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, my sausage dog just wants a cuddle. And then I've got some ranunculus here that are doing really well. Oh, actually, these are those beautiful little hyacinthy things. I grew them in my front garden last year and I found some more bulbs at Hammerbun this year, so I've planted them along here as well. Oh, there's some more beautiful little things coming up. That's very exciting. My ranunculus, which are doing well. I keep finding my other sausage dog in amongst them. In here, these are some gladiola bulbs I found in my garden shed from last year that I'd completely forgotten about, and I actually thought they were dead, but I planted them anyway and they have done okay, so that's nice. And then I've got 3 beautiful daffodils down here, and they're doing all right as well. And then I have this whole bed full of raspberries. It doesn't look like much because it's overwintered, I guess, but it is currently fruiting really well. My 4-year-old absolutely loves coming out and picking these and the blueberries and the strawberries all together. So that's really nice to have that. We put this wire on at the beginning of winter because the raspberries were absolutely everywhere to contain it a bit. And I should be better at marking which canes are currently fruiting because I am sure that I won't remember and then I won't know what to pull out. This weedy thing here is actually an asparagus fern because I had originally thought that this would be half raspberry, half asparagus, and how silly I was because this raspberry really just took over. It's gone everywhere. It's even popping up in my gravel path. I keep pulling it out and I've gifted little bits to friends. Hopefully they will get raspberries from all of my path raspberry as well. So yeah, this is my garden. I absolutely love it. I'll come and show you my chickens. So we built the chicken coop first, and the chicken coop is a house and then a nice little run. They often get let out in the garden as well, like in the backyard. That's why my vegetable garden is fenced. And they do get let out to have a run around my backyard, but I've had lots of spring flowers in that I didn't want them to eat, so they've been a bit contained. I have filled the bottom of my run here with leaves. I live on a street that drops every leaf on every tree, and we've been looking for good uses of leaves, and it is a good use of leaves because it mulches it down. And then I've got one more tub ready to go when these are all gone. So I have 9 birds. I've got 4 ises, Or maybe I've got 3 Ises. And then this, and then a whole heap of mixed match birds. I have got 1 speckled Sussex over there. She is beautiful. Oh, I've also got some more strawberries along the top here. And then some succulenty things in here. I have a chicken currently sitting on 12 eggs that I was kindly gifted by a friend. And I hope that we get little tiny chicks in the next week or 2. Most of these chickens are chickens we've gotten eggs from and hatched, which is really exciting. Obviously you can't keep a rooster in town, but it is nice to have your own chickens. So in the summer I plan on putting more capsicums along the fence in nice big pots, rather than them taking up room in my garden. I went to Hammerbarn this morning and bought some tomato plants to up pot, just like I've done with the capsicums. So hopefully, oh, and there's some lemongrass in here that I've cut back. So hopefully they will be ready in the next couple of weeks to go in the garden. And then down here, sorry, the rest of my backyard's actually a mess. I probably could have cleaned it up, but it doesn't matter. So here I've also got, along the fence here, I've got Frankie, out of the garden, buddy. I've got a dragon fruit here. This is a pomegranate. This is a recent addition, only in the last 6 months. And then this dwarf mulberry, which was maybe only a foot high and is now huge. It has lots of little fruit ready to start growing and ripening, and once it's fruited I will chop it back to fence height so it doesn't go crazy. My daffodils that have been in for a couple of years have all started to come up. I would have thought it was a bit early, but they don't. And you can see all the new shoots coming through because I planted a heap more. I went to Hammerbarn recently and they had 10 to 14 packs of daffodils and jonquils for $4 each. So of course I got a heap. Look, you can see them starting to flower. They're not very high out of the ground. This is zinnia from last year. This is a rhubarb, which I've moved a grand total of 4 times now, and it is doing well. It's come back to life. This is the freesias I was telling you about, so that's exciting too. And then some stocks, which I hope, or not some stocks, some foxgloves, which I got on sale, which I hope grow to be nice and big. So I might take you outside to my front garden and show you what's growing out there. I forgot to mention that we have this beautiful fig tree. We're hoping to graft some, so it's a white genoa, and we're hoping to graft some brown turkey on it this year. We just need to find some cyans that are appropriate. This here is a compost bin, and then in here, I'll show you Mama Hen. Good old Mama Hen. Hello Grandma Grumpy. Sitting on 12 little eggs. Oh, there's another egg to collect over here. So this is my front courtyard, and it is not a very big space. Sorry, I just want to trip over the hose here. But we have managed to fit quite a lot in here. I have got 4 fruit trees in this section and 2 here, and then 2 down here. So I'll walk you around. Here I have got a little lime tree. Now it had almost died and I replanted it in this section. So it has come back to life and doing well. Hopefully it will fruit next year. And then I've got lots of daffodils. This nasturtium I have no idea where it came from. There's also parsley everywhere. I've got some more beautiful daffodils. I'm so excited. I think I'm going to pick some and put them on my kitchen table. I've got some purple tumba violets, which smell amazing. I wish you could smell them from here. And then down here I have an orange which needs to be sprayed. It's covered in a bit of rust. And then I definitely need to get rid of this. It's just so spiky and I can't get into it without a shovel. Obviously I just need to go and get the shovel. This here, which I'm not sure if you can see, maybe if I move that way. This here is a pear. It's got 2 different sorts of pears on it. I can't remember which, and it's about to come out. It looks so good. I got this for my birthday last year. It had 1 pear on it last year and my son knocked it off with a stick. I almost cried. It was very sad. And then over here I have got This is a, what they call a fruit salad tree. I don't know if you can see it against my dry grass. It's got a nectarine, a peach and a plum on it. And obviously this is the plum that's just about to flower. The plum outgrew the nectarine and the peach last year, so I had to trim it right back. But hopefully we get some fruit off that this year. If not, that's okay too. It's only in its second year here. And then over here, this was the biggest waste of money. We bought a weeping mulberry because we love the idea of a mulberry, but we hate how much space they take up. And in the end, I planted a dwarf in the backyard. But this is, it's a black dwarf mulberry, which is just about to come out. And it only has the tiniest little fruit on it. And we never get any of the fruit because the silly birds eat them. But oh well, I guess we're just feeding the wildlife. And then over here is a 3-way apple tree. So this is another fruit salad tree. It's got a pink lady, a Granny Smith maybe, and then I can't remember what the third on it is, but it's just about to shoot and come back to life, which is exciting. We've had a really wet winter, so I hope they do really well this spring. And then over here, this is what I call my herb patch. This started off as like one tiny little parsley, and then my son and I spread the seeds, and it's everywhere. It's in my neighbor's yard, it's all through the grass, and I mean that doesn't really matter because it just grows and grows and grows. I've got some jonquils at the back there that have already flowered and are flowering again. I've got some beautiful rosemary. This mandarin tree here doesn't seem to be doing very well. I'm not really sure what to do with it. This seems to be a cursed spot. I think that this might have been where that lime tree was originally, and now it's not doing very well. I've got some more rosemary, which I've just trimmed back. And then here I've got another orange. Obviously, most of them are dwarf because we don't have a great deal of room, but that's okay. And then all of these daffodils which have come up, some of them are even finished. Like these ones are done and dusted. But these have been in for a couple of years and they are doing so well. There's some at the back that have fallen down, and they're the ones I think I will pick and put in a vase to enjoy. Yeah, so that is my garden. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to film some more videos of me pottering around and talking about my garden in the near future. Please let me know if you watched my video and you thought it was nice. I hope to inspire some people to garden themselves as well. So let me know what you're growing and what you want to see from the contents. You can follow me on Nancy's Backyard Garden on Instagram, where I post lots of little things. But thank you for watching.